What's up, everybody? Happy Monday morning. Good Monday morning to you all. This is our 3-point stance presented by Mountain Dew. Jon Roser, Devin Walker, again filling in for Olympic Megan Triplet. What up, Dev?
What up, Rose? We're back for another week of jam-packed action on 3-point stance.
Presented by Mountain Dew. All right, we'll get off to first things first. I was not in town this weekend. I was in Chicago for the National Sports Collectors Convention, which I will get to shortly here. But you were in town, and the Grizzlies, everybody was thinking, what are they going to do? They traded up to get the 10th pick from the Pelicans, sent off Jonas Valanciunas, got some contracts back, Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe. And there are rumors the Grizzlies, are they trying to move up even further? Who knows? The Grizzlies stay put at 10, and there were a lot of guys on the board I think other fans that fans wanted, whether it's Moody, whether it's James Bouknight slipping, whoever it may be. The Grizzlies end up taking Ziaire Williams out of Stanford with the 10th overall pick. You have gotten to meet Ziaire. Tell us what we need to know.
Zaire's a good kid, man, with a military family, with a military background. So he's had structure. Yeah, he's had structure. He's had discipline. So kind of getting used to the coaching staff won't be hard for him. I think the biggest thing people need to know about him is he is a kid with a nice head on his shoulders. If you go back and watch his press conference, he spoke so he didn't sound like a rookie. He didn't sound like it was the first day being an NBA player. He sounded like he was polished. He was ready for the moment. He gave a lot of credit to his family because he was saying like his mom and his dad, they're the ones that pushed him to get to where he is now. I mean, it helped that he's 6'10" with the freakish athleticism and the jump shot, but he gives credit to his family for how much they pushed him throughout the journey. So, I mean, Ziaire, he reminds me a lot, and I know that people are gonna be like, he reminds a lot of Jaren, to be honest, like where he has a fun personality, where he has that side of him where he can be a playful, fun guy, but he also can lock in and lock into the business and get things done. So Memphis is going to love Ziaire, man. I was with him for his photo shoot. I was with him for his first pitch at the AutoZone Park. Memphis is going to love him, man. Like he has a personality where the fans will gravitate towards him and love him.
I think one of the things that stood out to me and kind of with the draft, situation is that, so he doesn't have a great season at Stanford. It's up and down. He got decent numbers, not great. The shooting's a little off. Did not shoot the ball nearly as well at Stanford, but it was as he did in high school. But the situation at Stanford was very different. They weren't playing on campus. They weren't training on campus. It was very different. He had some personal things he went through also, but just the strategy of drafting him. One, they took a swing. They're taking a swing on him. I've heard the term raw used with him, and I don't know. Look, I'm not going to act like I watched a bunch of Stanford basketball, and I think a lot of fans that are outraged by the pick. It's like you've not watched Stanford basketball either. Hell, dude, we don't even know where to find it. Even Brevin Knight couldn't watch Stanford basketball this past season.
Exactly.
So it's like 4 hours. It's just like people wanted him to take someone else, and I think really people are upset that they traded JV because JV was so loved. But I do wonder if he is as raw as people say he is, or if it's just maybe that situation at Stanford. Clearly, he's got to get stronger. He's going to get stronger. That's where maybe sort of rawness they talk about with him. But I do think the strategy of when you look at the NBA playoffs and what happened, why DeAndre Ayton was so successful for such a long time until he ran up against Giannis, and everybody has problems with Giannis, is Ayton on a lot of these other bigs that they played against. Ayton was agile enough to get out and switch on the smaller guys. And I think when you see a Ziaire Williams at 6'10", a Jaren Jackson Jr. that's, who knows, is he still growing? Is that dude still growing? Like, can get out and switch on multiple guys. I think there's a clear strategy right there, and I think they're looking for that third piece that can be next to Ja and Jaren. And I think when people talk about the Grizzlies, they say they're going to take the analysts say that the Grizzlies are taking a step back with this trade. I think the one thing they forget that they don't get talked about is, the best players are like between 21 and 24 years old. Like they're not 28 to 34. Like they're all still getting better.
And also, Roser, I think it's proven that these analysts, do they really know what they're talking about? Because the last 2 seasons, the Grizzlies have been slated to not make the playoffs. And what have they done the last 2 years? Like that first season, Ja's year, you're going to win 19 games. You make the play-in game. Last year, that year was a blip in the radar. The Grizzlies are going to take a step back. They're not going to make the playoffs. What do? Win the play-in game, play in the first round. So when I hear analysts say this and say that, it's like I just want to see the productivity. Because the guys know. the guys produce. And I really think if you plug Ziaire in there at that 3 spot, he could be the big 3 that the Grizzlies have always wanted. Because he can shoot the ball, he can handle it, he can bounce, he can do it all. So like you said, you take a swing, if you hit the swing, if you hit it, he's an all-star. So I really think so.
No. If you hit, he's probably a multiple-time All-Star. Number 2, free agency starting this week. Obviously, short off season, so it's all happening. Draft, free agency, boom, boom, boom. Training camp will be here before you know it. Free agency starting. Already the reports, there are multiple reports out that not Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, his former teammate in Toronto, could be on the move to possibly Miami. If Kyle Lowry ends up in Miami, does that move the needle at all in the Eastern Conference? Or are we still thinking it's – look, I mean, for everything Giannis did and help himself this playoffs, let's be honest, if Brooklyn's healthy, Brooklyn beats Milwaukee, but that's how the playoffs go. Injuries happen every year. Does Kyle Lowry – does a trio of Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo with a young Tyler Hero possibly, does that move the needle for you at all in the Eastern Conference? It doesn't move the needle for
me, but I think it's something that can – combat what the Bucks have. I think when you have that trio, that's 3 pit bulls, bro. That's 3 dogs. Like
Lowry and Drew Holiday could have some wars, man.
Exactly. So if you bring dogs to the fight, bro, you always got a chance. So I think that if you have those 3 dogs with you, you have a chance. I just don't this Giannis thing, bro. Like I know I joked about I don't think it'll be a dynasty situation. I think it's one of those. It was more like the Mavs championship and more like the Raptors championship than the Warriors or the Cavs. But I do think they're still going to be in contention. They're still going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. I just don't think it's enough, but I do think it'll be enough for them to get back in the hunt, if that makes sense.
No. I agree with you. And then we'll wait to see what happens in Philadelphia. We know Ben Simmons shocking. We'll see if that goes out the all season or if that goes into the season. But, Philadelphia obviously has one of the most dominant guys in the game in Joel Embiid. And if they move Ben Simmons, what do they get for him? And then, who knows what's going to happen with Damian Lillard. Right now, Bradley Beal is going to stay put in Washington, but we'll see. Feels like if something happens with that, it could happen mid-season if things aren't going right for the Wizards. Last but not least, I spent the weekend in Chicago. National Collectors Convention, technically Rosemont. Went to Wrigley Field. Dude, Wrigley Field has the best ice cream on the planet. I know you do not eat cold things, but for people that do, like most people, the ice cream at Wrigley Field is amazing. The National Sports Collectors Convention, anybody that is a huge fan of just sports collectibles, memorabilia, you don't have to, it's not just cards. There are tons of other things that they have. A sports fan, any sports fan should go and check it out. Dude, they had, I know Chris Vernon put it up on his Instagram page. They had a pair of Jordan 1s, game worn and signed by Michael Jordan. $400,000.
Sheesh.
$400,000. I mean, they had a game worn jersey of Babe Ruth. That's back in the 1920s.
Yeah, how do you get that?
Exactly. They have the craziest things imaginable that you could think of at the National Sports Collectors Convention. Next year, it is in Atlantic City. Don't know if I'll be going to that one, but I've been a couple times now. For any sports fan, definitely take the trip. My prize that I bought the Kevin Durant 2007 Topps Finest Rookie, which is graded a PSA 10, which is the highest grade that you can get. So any sports fan, go to the National Sports Collectors Convention.
So you didn't go to Lollapalooza, Rose, is what you're telling me.
I did not go to Lollapalooza. That crowd gave me so much anxiety, Good to see. Shout out to Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit. I think he can still put on a show even at 50 years old.
There's a show at Lollapalooza?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit did a show at Lollapalooza yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shout out
that is all the time we have for this week, Devin. I appreciate it. You got your Ziaire Williams info, you got your free agency primer, and you got my trip to Chicago. This has been our 3-Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew.